Alright, just gonna start the recording here just in case, but I really have to say again, really great DLC. I want to play that again. The Ancient Gods Part 1, I wasn't invested. I was invested, but like I wasn't motivated to go back and get the collectibles. You know, I didn't care to go back. None of that. In this though, I definitely want to go back through this. Jason Kelly. Darklord was a different guy. Okay. Nice. But like the new enemies were cool. Some of them were more annoying than others, but the new enemies were cool. They used them in really interesting ways. The Armored Baron was definitely my favorite. I just really liked his design. A close second would probably be... I don't know. It's hard because the other ones are kind of in their own tier for me. The Stone Imps kind of became an annoying novelty after a little while. I know. It goes Armored Baron, then the Chain Gun guys, which I was so happy to see. I really wanted them, and I'm really glad that they came back. That's something I liked, is that there were more demons. And you got to see every one of them in this DLC, and I love that. They weren't afraid to put you against a couple Marauders. Only one Archvile, which I'm happy with. Only a couple Marauders, which, you know... I didn't mind the oversaturation, but I know a lot of people, it turned them off. So, you know. At the end of the day, you gotta please everybody. So they put in Marauders for the people who liked them, but they didn't, you know, put a whole bunch of them in like they did in Ancient Gods Part 1 for the people who hated them. It's a nice middle ground. This DLC was a really good middle ground, I think. I know a lot of people will be... The people who liked Ancient Gods Part 1 will be disappointed because, you know, it wasn't just fight after fight after fight like Ancient Gods Part 1 is. And I know it sounds weird when I say that because that's all Doom is, but when you play through Part 1 versus this one and the main game, I think you know what I mean. And they did really interesting things like when the wolf jumps into the big totem thing, and then the smoke goes around and you can't go outside of it, and they like put goo in there to restrict your movement. They put buff totems outside of it, so you were really incentivized not to go find it until you were done in the circle. The meat hook stuff, oh, I'm one of those people who did not use the meat hook. Like, I just forgot it existed before Part 2. And now I have a new appreciation for it. That end scene with all the forces fighting one another. The Dark Lord boss battle, oh, that was so good. It got kind of annoying at parts, but it really was like a 1v1, and I really liked it. I'll have to go through that fight again, because it was cool. A lot of cool stuff happened in this DLC, and I think it's a really good way to end Doom Eternal's story life cycle. Even though it is sad to see the Doomslayer die. But, if you all remember, the Slayer has died before, because at the moment, his mission is done. At the moment, his mission is completed. You know? But he's died before, if you remember. He was entombed in a coffin prior to this. So, he's just going to rest until he's needed again, is basically what's happening here. I guarantee it. So, I have no doubts that he'll be back whenever they decide to make another one. I wouldn't be surprised if they, you know, took another couple years to rest on it. Really let people enjoy this game for what it is, because this is a great game. I know some people aren't happy with some of the decisions it made, but this has been a great game. This game is, in my opinion, way better than 2016. Not that 2016 is bad, 2016 is amazing, but this one is far superior. There's just so much more you have to do, and it really makes you feel like unstoppable. Which is always great. But man, this DLC has been a blast. I definitely need to play it again, get all the unlockables and stuff. The hammer is such a good utility. It's not just, you know, free kill on hard demon. You know, you still have to fight the enemy. It's not like, oh, there's an Archvile, cut it, you know, or whatever. It's like, yeah, they're stunned, and you get your healing back or your ammo back and such. And then, of course, right at like the very, very end, not the end, but as just like a side note, you can get the hammer back without finding those pickups, which I think is great. And I think and as I say that, I don't think the Crucible Blade needs a mechanic like that, because, again, you get a free kill with the Crucible Blade, and you get 3 of them, so, you know. That being said, though, I do kind of wish that the Sentinel Blade, or the Crucible Blade, rather, you would start with all 3. Because if you use them all in the previous one, and then you don't find any more pickups, you know, oh well. But, this is definitely a more positive experience than Ancient Gods Part 1. Also, none of that Trials of Malagog bullshit. I hated that. Those fucking cubes. But they weren't here in this one, so. There was nothing overly dumb in this one, in my opinion. Even if, again, a couple enemies, in my opinion, got kind of oversaturated and such. It was a good time. I like that they weren't afraid to bring things from Part 1 that people may not have liked so much. Like the Spirit and whatnot. The Screamers were really interesting. I liked their whole deal. Again, the Stone Imps are probably my least favorite, just because their novelty kind of wore off, and the game really liked to throw them at you just because they were, you know, what they were. But they did give you incentive to use the full auto, which is something that even the Ancient Gods didn't really have you do. There was no incentive to use it. Then the Barons, the Armored Barons, which of course gave another use for the microwave mod, which is nice. And then the Chain Guys, which give the Detonator mod something to do. Just, like, every weapon with these DLCs now has a use. Like, it's not just this niche that you might use on a lark or something. Because that's how, like, the microwave mod was. The only thing I can't think of is, like, the shield, but it is a shield, so the shield's just a utility, I guess. I was kind of... But yeah. I'm disappointed that there was no Berserk. There's one Berserk power-up in this entire game in both DLCs, which is... Unless I just didn't find it. Which, you know, if I didn't, that's a shame. But it is what it is. I kind of hoped that Doomslayer would have like a punch-out with the Dark Lord at one point, but, you know. It is what it is. And at this point, we're just waiting for the credits to end, because I know there's an end credits thing. But yeah, personally, I cannot wait to see where this story goes now. A lot of people complain that they've overcomplicated Doom. I don't think they have. I think they've just made it more interesting.
Hello? Are you still here? Great. I have a message for you from Marty, Hugo, and all the hardworking devs at id Software. Thanks for playing. Hell wouldn't be the same without you.
Hey. Nice. That's cool. Rest your weary fists. Boosh. Nice. Save and exit. Alright. And that's it. That's the Slayer's story for right now. Phenomenal DLC. I can't say that enough. My bubblegum boy. My spooky boy. My large poison frog boy. Yes. Oh, I got something else. I don't know what refreshing is. But that's it. Thank you all for watching. Let's check this thing first, actually. I am the Conqueror. Ooh, that's cool. Oh. Dark, whoa, what? Okay, I need to see that. Oh, okay, I thought it was like a thing in here. Okay, it's not in there. Yep, that's it. I'll see you all later. Peace.